Step right up, dummies, and listen to the stupidest sports show on earth with Rodney Newpole and Tim Van Stratton. Yeah. Well, hello, dummies, and welcome to episode number 124 of the stupidest sports show on earth. My name, as you all know, is Tim KB24 Van Stratton. I'm joined by the great Rodney Newpole, who, for some reason, has removed the Cousin Con jersey behind him. What happened? Where'd it go?
I needed to get a little bit more professional for a interview I had today, so I took it down. I'll put it back. I couldn't be too fanboy. I needed to be a little more professional. So Con will come back up after. I just didn't get a chance to put it down. It's just around the corner.
Ugh, professional is not what people come to expect.
Yeah.
That is
out
of character.
Show.
All right. How you doing, man? You gearing up? You preparing for the Arctic weekend that's in store for us?
Yeah, I mean, all my kids have tomorrow off. No school here. No school really anywhere in this area. Way too cold, and then snow coming in this weekend. So it could end up being a 4-day weekend because Monday does not look to be a whole lot better. I'm not scared of the cold. I will not be wearing shorts. But
I did see I think it was last weekend. It was a pretty cold day. And there was some dude coming out of Walmart that had on shorts and flip-flops.
Yeah, I won't be out much. But when I do go out, I'll at least have pants and sleeves on. But other than that, no, I don't have a whole lot of plans, so I can stay in.
That's good. Well, we have big plans for the show, as you can expect. Lots of talks and predictions for the AFC and NFC Championship. It's Championship Sunday. As you pointed out, we now have 3 football games left for the season. That's it. So this is the end. We got 4 teams. We got the Broncos. We got the Patriots. We got the Seahawks. Got the Rams.
Yeah.
And wherever you're watching, by the way, if you're watching us on Twitter, if you're watching us on YouTube, wherever, you can send in your predictions there. Give us your bold predictions for how the games are going to go down. And Rodney, you plan today's show. We're starting in the AFC. The Denver Broncos are entering Sunday with Jarrett Stidham leading the charge. And Jarrett Stidham is not the first backup quarterback to be starting for a team at this stage in the season. You know, we've seen Nick Foles throughout an entire playoff run. People remember once upon a time Tom Brady was the backup. Now, granted, he was pretty much playing the whole year, and Brock Purdy had a similar sort of run. But is this the first time that a backup quarterback made his season debut this late into the season?
I see. Yeah, I mean, I think so. I don't remember another opportunity where that occurred. So, this is his opportunity. And we've talked about this before. Like, he was kind of a coveted backup. You mentioned the Patriots wanted him, the Broncos wanted to make sure they re-signed him. So, we'll see. I'm interested in seeing him play and seeing how they do. They're going to have to help him by, having good offensive line play, and they're going to have to run the football a little bit. But, the question is, can Jarrett Stidham get it done? I think he can. Bo Nix wasn't great for them the last couple weeks. He hasn't, he didn't light the world on fire, and Denver just keeps finding ways. So I think he can get it done. But boy, I've been discounting the Patriots all year.
Yeah, and it's funny. Like, we sort of had a flip on the Patriots just this postseason, you and I.
Yeah.
So the first round, I was like, all right, yeah, like Chargers going to come in. Like, Chargers offensive line's miserable. I think Patriots are going to be fine. And you had a little more faith in the Chargers. Then the divisional weekend rolls around, and I was really high on the Texans and their defense. And I didn't think Stroud would be that bad. And you were kind of like, no, Patriots. And you were pretty comfortable with that. And so I don't know where you're at in total with the Patriots. I think that it is not being a hater to point out that as far as, look, obviously you have to be a good team to get to this point. There's no bad teams that can get to this point, but I don't think I'm being a hater by pointing out that if there was such a thing as football gods, they are putting everything they can on the Patriots this whole season. From the way that the schedule broke, like the schedule ended up being even easier than we all knew it was going to be. They ended up winning a division over a Buffalo team that still won, 12 games?
Yeah.
They face a broken down Chargers team. They face a Texans team that didn't have Nico Collins and had the worst performance ever from CJ Stroud. And now they're facing the Broncos with a backup quarterback.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. They've lived the charmed life for sure.
Right. Like at some point things are going to turn around a little bit and they're going to be hit with reality, but it hasn't happened yet. And like, is it possible that the Patriots can complete this thing? What happens if they win on Sunday? They end up facing, let's say, a Seattle team that has, Sam Darnold that's fighting through an oblique injury and isn't through 100%. Or the Rams on the other side where, like, you and I both think Stafford is dealing with the hand issue. Like, there are these scenarios where, like, the Patriots can literally do this all the way to another championship and have the most improbable year-over-year turnaround in the NFL history.
Yeah, I mean, we saw a similar story in college football. Now, obviously, that was 2 years of it. This would be the immediate year after. But so Patriots, no matter who they play, unless something major happens on Sunday, will be underdogs in the Super Bowl if they win.
Yes,
right. I mean,
assuming like Darnold or Stafford doesn't get hurt on Sunday.
Yeah.
Yes, they've already put the lines out there, and I think that for whether it's the Rams or the Seahawks, I think they're about either 3.5 or 5.5 point favorite against the Patriots. And then if it's the Broncos that advance, like Seahawks Broncos, I think is like 8.5 right now, if that's what the matchup ends up being. But Patriots are going to be underdogs. AFC is going to be underdogs no matter what. Yeah.
No, for sure. And I'm not sure where I'm at with this NFL playoffs because I've discounted the Patriots all year. I have not been high on the Broncos all year, and I've been pretty low on Seattle all year. So I am going to quit to pretend that I know what's going on in the National Football League and say go Rams, and that's my pick. But I mean, this Jarrett Stidham should be fun to watch. I think everybody's just hoping he at least plays well and it's a competitive game. We don't want to see a dud from anybody, really. Mm-hmm. We don't have a skin in the game from any of the 4 teams. I would love to just see 2 competitive games. Yeah,
and honestly, I think we should end up seeing 2 competitive games. Like that's certainly my hope for sure. Obviously we're talking about the AFC game here, so. I don't know. I feel like a lot of times when these backup quarterbacks play in the playoffs, we're always like, oh man, they have no shot. And every single one that comes to mind always ends up outperforming the expectations.
Yeah.
Because maybe our expectations are so low and that's part of it. But like all I'm thinking about, and maybe I'm the fool because it's the same thing I said about CJ Stroud last week is like Justin Herbert and CJ Stroud had 2 of the absolute worst quarterback performances that I've seen. The Patriots didn't really pull away from either of those teams until later on in the second half. It's not like the Patriots blew those teams out of the water because honestly, on their side of the ball, like Drake May's overall been kind of uninspiring through 2 postseason games. Yes. So I'm now thinking, all right, the game is in Denver. Sean Payton had quite a few backup quarterbacks that he had to work with in New Orleans those last few years when Drew Brees was banged up and like he's had to make offense happen and he was able to do it successfully. And like I just don't see New England coming in and just running up the score against a Broncos team that like, I think the Broncos' overall roster, I would take over New England's overall roster. And, like, if we put the coaches head-to-head, one coach has won a Super Bowl, the other one hasn't. So, like, you have the coach advantage, you have the roster advantage, you have home field. all going toward one side. And the only reason that we're not overwhelmingly saying that Denver is the favorite is because Jarrett Stidham. Like, and so really, like, if Bo Nix was healthy, Denver would be favored by, I would guess, between 3 to 4 points. What do you think? Like 3.5?
3.5. I'd say 3.5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So is Bo Nix to Jarrett Stidham worth a 7-point difference in the line? I don't think so. I really don't.
I don't think so. No, I don't think so. So you're thinking the spread's too high in favor of the Patriots because of that?
Yeah, I think that, and I just think that we're treating Denver as if they're a team that succeeded because of their quarterback. I think their quarterback definitely helped them along the way, of course, but like if the Patriots didn't have Drake May, the Patriots aren't going to win a football game. But the Broncos, I think, can survive. Now, Can they win a Super Bowl? I don't know. We'll see sort of how it plays out, but like I don't see why everyone is assuming that like the Patriots are going to go in there and handle business. I don't think that's the case at all.
Yeah, and I mean the game's going to be in Denver, and I know New England's not going to be scared of cold, but it's going to be cold. It's going to be mile high. It's always interesting playing in Denver. Home field advantage, I think, means a little bit, especially an NFC title game, right? Like, so it's supposed to be 22 degrees. So yeah, I mean, I think what you said there, the spread is probably too much. Yes.
I did see, this was funny. So one of the, even well before Nick Foles, Jeff Hostetler for the Giants was a backup quarterback who Phil Simms got hurt late in the year. So Hostetler came in. I think he started 1 or 2 games in the regular season before then getting to the postseason. But basically before that, like started the exact same amount of games in the NFL that Stidham has, which is like 2 or 3, like barely anything. And Hostetler ended up going through the playoffs and the Giants won the Super Bowl. But I saw some quotes about Bill Parcells, who was a coach of the Giants at the time. And Bill Parcells, at that point with Hostetler, he stood up and told the team. So this is a story. So it's a quote. I stood up in front of the group and said, I just want you guys to know if we lose this game, it's not going to be because of Jeff Hostetler. It's going to be because one of you dumb mother effers is doing something bleeping stupid. And this ties in. So the person who brought that is a columnist for the Denver Post. So obviously tying into Sean Payton. He asked Sean Payton what the message was to the team regarding Jarrett Stidham. And pretty much it was like, it was pretty similar to that. Yeah. Like, and I think that's the message. Like, hey, forget about the quarterback for a second. You guys are still the 1 seed. You won the division. Like, you've beaten all these teams. Like, and Denver has beaten good teams this year. Yeah. This isn't like a Patriots schedule. Like, they earned that record, right? So, like, I think that that's the exact type of message that team needs. And I think that they're going to come out really inspired.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to get to our best bets for betting later, but it seems like we're both giving away our pick here that we like Denver more than we like New England. But yeah, I mean, you mentioned it. The Broncos, there's 3 losses at the Colts.
When the Colts were 1 good, 2, that I believe was the Colts missed the field goal at the end, but then they got a redo because they called a penalty on Denver. You remember that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Week 3 by 3 at the Chargers.
Yep.
And week late in the year by 14 to the Jaguars. Week
at home.
16.
A Jaguars team that at that point was in the middle of a 9-game winning streak.
Yes. It was 17-10 and a half. It turned to 31-17 at the end of 3. So Jacksonville ran away with that one a little bit.
Yeah, one home loss, 2 road losses, and one of the road losses was by a field goal that was sort of a little bit fluky.
Yeah. Denver.
Now we can also look and say, well, like Denver also had that insane comeback against the Giants, and like it's not like they've blown up people. Like they've won a lot of close football games, kind of similar like the Chiefs last year, won a lot of close games, but like. No, Denver was legitimately a very, very good football team this year.
both teams coming into this game, the Broncos are allowing 18.3 points a game. The Patriots allowing 18.8. So we have with the Seahawks jumped in there, we literally have three of the best four defenses in the NFL left.
And then the other team that doesn't, the only team that doesn't in the Rams has the top scoring offense in the NFL.
Yeah, for sure. So Aaron joined us this evening. Thanks, Aaron, for joining us. He says more level playing ground in NFL. Okay. You're 100% right there, Aaron. And well, we're taking your picks as well, Aaron, if you want to give your AFC and NFC picks. Let's move to the NFC. So I think the big narrative here is like, is Sam Darnold going to choke again? Is he going to look bad again? But boy, as hurt as people were saying he was going to be in that last game, he played awfully well.
Well,
but didn't need to.
Here's the thing. No one was actually saying he was hurt. Everyone was downplaying the injury, or at least he was downplaying the injury. But then we would see a report like, oh, by the way, he hasn't thrown a football in 2 weeks. Like, so it was and it worked out splendidly for Seattle because he didn't need to throw the ball at all against the Rams.
Correct.
12 of 17, and Kenneth Walker ran all over the place. It was perfect. They didn't have to put anything on him. Now, I think it's going to be a little bit different story with the Rams, and Sam Darnold in 2 starts against the Rams this year, I think, has 2 touchdowns and 6 interceptions.
Yeah.
So that's a little. If you're Seattle, I know you're the 1 seed and you're at home and you just destroyed the 49ers, but that's got to be a little worrisome. No, especially when you know that he's now not playing at 100% health.
Right. Yeah, no, it's got to be. And, just knowing his playoff background and previously is the concern for Seattle. And I think a major concern for this game is Zach Charbonnet has been really good for Seattle. Now, I know Ken Walker ran all over San Francisco, but Zach Charbonnet is actually the better blocking running back as well. And with that Rams front coming at you, like, you're going to need some help there. But then on the Seattle side, you got to think, okay, we scored 41 points and JSN had 3 catches for 19 yards last game. That's going to change a little bit. And then one more thought, it's times 3, but this is once again another Cooper Kupp revenge game.
Yeah. So the benefit of this particular NFC Championship is that we've seen this matchup twice already. The problem is both matchups have been so incredibly close that it's literally like a toss-up. So just to remind you guys, so this was week 10 where the Seahawks and Rams played in LA. This was a game that Sam Darnold had 0 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. 4 interceptions. And Kenneth Walker only had 60-something yards, and Charbonnet only had 30-something yards, and Smith-Njigba had a good game. He had a big game. The other side, Stafford didn't really throw that well, 130 yards, but 2 touchdowns. It was really like a Kyron Williams day. Kyron Williams had a really good game, but that was a lower scoring game. The Rams only won by 2 points. So the problem that I have a little bit with the Rams is that they already had that game where Sam Darnold was terrible. They got the 4 interception meltdown game. They had everything that they wanted to happen, and they only managed to win at home by 2 points. I don't think you're going to get Sam Darnold throwing 0 touchdowns, 4 interceptions again. I don't think you're going to be able to hold Kenneth Walker to 40-something yards. That's where I'm sort of losing a little bit. And then obviously everyone remembers the Thursday night game. The Rams jump out to a big lead. Seahawks were down by 16 points, but then they're able to get back. Darnold suddenly is able to turn it back on again, and Seattle wins in overtime. And that was a game again where Stafford, no turnovers, 3 touchdowns. Kyron Williams was efficient. Puka at 225 yards.
Yeah.
But still, all that, Seattle wins.
Yeah, isn't this the game where the backwards pass was knocked down and then advanced into the end zone? Right?
Yeah, that was a 2-point conversion game. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
the 2-point conversion. I do remember that one. But no, there's a lot of numbers there. And Puka, 225.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not going to get 225 of them in the NFC title game. It's not going to happen. But what Devontae Adams did not play in that game either. So, you've got a huge weapon coming back. Now, Devontae wasn't real good last week against the Bears, but obviously we know he's a massive weapon. I mean, Devontae only had 2 catches last week against the Bears. So, coaching wise, we love McDonald, but like McVay's the favorite there, right?
Yeah. I mean, just by resume. Yeah, sure. McVay's been to 2 Super Bowls. He's won 1. Mike McDonald, this is his second year. It clearly is an excellent head coach. The team is great. I mean, he was a defensive coordinator who's a first-time head coach and oversees the team that has the number 1 defense in the NFL. Like they're a very, very good team. And Clint Kubiak, their offensive coordinator, is a favorite for the Raiders' job right now, and has been a very sought-after candidate a few different places. So, like, Seattle has an excellent coaching staff. But yeah, I'd be just Sean McVay is in the conversation as the top coach in the sport. Like, if you could have any head coach in the NFL, like McVay, and he'd probably be yours. Like, he's that guy. So it's this matchup to me, and I'm sure you feel kind of similar. Like, this feels like the real championship here, where whoever wins is going to be a considerable favorite over whoever's in the AFC, and like with good reason. Like this feels like this is what we've all been waiting for.
Now, I did not put this on the agenda, but you talked about Clint Kubiak. Give us a coaching update. Give us a coaching update of the other teams. We'll talk more about the NFC and AFC title game when we get to our best bets for betting. Give us the latest on the NFL coaches, because I know one got hired a little bit ago.
Right. So yeah, the Ravens today replaced John Harbaugh with a former John Harbaugh assistant, Jesse Minter, who was with Baltimore, then went to the Chargers to be the defensive coordinator for Jim, and is now back in Baltimore, except with no John Harbaugh. On the surface, like Minter was getting a lot of buzz, and people think he's head coach material, and that's fine. And like Baltimore, honestly, has earned the benefit of the doubt. Like, it's been Brian Billick and John Harbaugh for 20 plus years, almost 25 years. And like, that's it. That's it.
Yeah.
So yeah, we can give them the benefit of the doubt. They know what they're doing, but it is a little strange. And Aaron, who was commenting on the show a little bit ago, like, he brought up that it's just like weird for the Ravens to just go to a John Harbaugh assistant after firing John Harbaugh.
Yeah.
But
Different.
yeah, so that means that 5 of the 10 openings are filled. So there's still 5 more to go. So I mentioned the Raiders, and these are just like betting odds, and they always change. But Clint Kubiak is looking like the favorite right now for the Raiders job. Sounds like they want to go with a more offensive guy, which makes sense. You got Fernando Mendoza coming in. Brady's obviously is a big part of the operation there. The Steelers, I'm not really quite sure what's going on there. So Chris Shula, the Rams defensive coordinator, is the favorite, but it's not a runaway. I mentioned a couple guys earlier. Nate, how do you say it? Shielhouse. Yeah. So former Illini quarterback. So people in the area would know him, but has been making the rounds as an assistant coach, and is on the Rams staff. He's their passing game / quarterbacks coach. So he's not even like the offensive coordinator there, but like the Steelers have kind of gone a little bit off the wall with coaches. And again, it's worked very well. They've had 3 coaches since 1969.
Right.
So he's still in the running right there, but Shula's the favorite. The Cardinals, who cares? Vance Joseph's the betting favorite. Just okay. Browns, there's a few guys. So I mentioned earlier Grant Udinsky, who's
30 years old.
30 years old. Yeah, he's the Jaguars offensive coordinator under Liam Cohen. Was the favorite, but now odds are moving around, and I think Jim Schwartz, the former Lions coach and defensive coordinator, is now slight favorite, but it's like Udinsky, Schwartz, and another dude that are there. Like, And what's funny with the Browns too is that there have been 4 or 5 coaches that have just like taken themselves out of the running. Like no one wants to coach there.
Yeah. So Udinski and Schwartz seem so uninspiring for Cleveland.
Yeah. Yeah. No one wants that job. And then the only other opening is that one at Buffalo, which right now, Brian Daboll is the favorite.
Yeah.
Who got an interview. And it was a little bit earlier where I was thinking about this. So you saw the quotes with Terry Pagula, the owner.
Yeah.
And the quotes with about, Keon Coleman, he was a coaching pick, all this stuff, blah, blah, blah. And I'm thinking, are we sure that Buffalo job's a good job?
No.
To work with that owner. So not only do you have all of the pressure of you're expected to go in there and instantly be better than what Sean McDermott was, which Sean McDermott, his ceiling was an AFC finalist. Yeah. Like to be one of the 4 best teams in the NFL. That's where you need to hit at minimum. So you need to get above that. You need to do it with an older Josh Allen, an aging roster, and also your owner is clearly like not probably one of the better owners who is going to stay out of what's happening in football operations. So like all these things. Oh, no, you also got to live in upstate New York. Like, okay, have fun. I'm not surprised that they don't have a ton of these super high quality candidates that are like, oh man, I need to stay away from the Raiders job because I need that Buffalo job. Like it's Brian Daboll right now. And
yeah.
And or Joe Brady, who's already on the staff there. So yeah, it's that one's fascinating to me.
Yeah, Pagula had not spoke to the media since 2019.
Yeah, it's probably a reason for that.
And it probably should have stayed till 2019. So like fall camp or spring camp starts this spring or whatever, OTAs, and Keon Coleman walks in the building.
Yeah. Well, I think there's no way they can keep him now. Not after that. Not after that.
I wouldn't think, like, loud and clear, he's not wanted there. He's not wanted there. And my hope is that Keon Coleman goes somewhere and is a really, really good receiver because, I mean, he had 1 year. Yes, he did not play. He did not have a great rookie year. But, like, the guy's a rookie. There's been a lot of receivers that did not have great rookie years that came back and were really good receivers. So,
well, this is what his second. This was his second year, though, right? Second or third year?
Oh,
he wasn't a rookie this year.
You're right. Yeah, second. I think it's 2 years. 2 years in.
Yeah.
But
clearly it hasn't been good. But man, you keep that shit in house. You do not do. And no one was going to mention it at all. And he's like, actually, Brandon, I'm going to interrupt you here.
Yeah.
And he was trying to defend his GM, who he's now promoted. But like, why did you feel the need to do that? And it makes you realize that, like, hey, there's a reason the Buffalo Sabres have been as bad as they've been for a lot of years. And it's because this guy also owns the Sabres. And
yeah. Not great. Not great.
Not a great situation.
All right, we'll get back to football. Let's move to baseball real quick. We always kind of give an update. Mackenzie Gore got moved. There was a couple other moves between now. Freddie Peralta has been moved. Maybe give the rundown of Major League Baseball and what's going on. And, you know, I think your buddy Bob Nightingale said it best. Cubs keep getting better with their players, and then other divisional teams losing guys. Well, but like Milwaukee's going to find ways to win.
Right. So that's the thing. People today, I saw the arguments of, we're so upset at the Dodgers. Well, we should be upset that a team that won the division is trading its best players. As if the Brewers haven't always done this and always improved. Like the Brewers rotation without, like, okay, they had traded Corbin Burns the couple years ago.
Yeah.
They survived. They were totally fine. And sure enough, look, Corbin Burns a year later has a major injury that takes him out of the pitching for 18 months. Okay. That means that they kind of knew that, like, there was a ceiling. It's the same thing that Bill Belichick always did with the Patriots when he was running things in the 2000s. You always need to it's much better to get rid of a guy 1 year early than 1 year too late. And I feel like that's how the Brewers operate, where they know that certain guys have a shelf life. They're able to make the most of value. And yeah, Aaron, great point. Josh Hader, Devin Williams. My God, look at Devin Williams with the Yankees this year.
Devin.
Right. But all of the people that the Brewers have gotten rid of, they weren't better once they left the Brewers. None of them were. So now why are we going to sit here and say that, Freddie Peralta is what a terrible decision? No, because they got Mizorowski. They got all these other guys, great pitching that helped them have the best record in baseball. And guess what? I'm still going to pick them to win the division.
Yeah. Over the improved Cubs.
Yeah, the improved Cubs who swapped out Kyle Tucker with a worse hitter, older worse hitter, and then just added Edward Cabrera.
Yeah,
it was good. But is that going to be the big difference? I don't know. But yeah. But anyway, so getting to Mackenzie Gore here now. So the Nationals, they've been floating Mackenzie Gore around for a while, and Mackenzie Gore is one of those pitchers I think where if you look at the stats, you're like, he's okay, but smart baseball people will be like, oh, he's actually good. He's got good stuff. All right, I'll take your word for it. The Rangers gave up 5 prospects for him?
Yeah.
That's a lot. That's a lot, man. And so, yeah, I mean, good on them. I know the Cubs were interested in him. I know that there were a few other teams. The Yankees have checked in on everyone this offseason. Haven't done anything, but yeah, Gore to the Rangers, I'm interested to see what it is. I mean, Washington has been consistently getting rid of guys, so nothing real new there. But yeah, and I'm sure there'll be a couple more trades here that we'll see late on.
So some of the latest free agents that are still available. Number 1 on the board would be Framber Valdez, right? He still has not signed.
Still has not signed, and the Mets getting Peralta probably removes them as an option, and a lot of people thought the Mets were a big spot for Framber. Maybe Baltimore. If Baltimore is hey, we already got Pete Alonso, they need a pitcher. That would make sense to me.
Eugenio Suarez is still available. I've heard the Pirates interested in Eugenio Suarez.
Sure. I mean, at this point, he's probably only looking at a 1-year deal. He was really, really bad in the second half of the season. After he got traded from Arizona, he was pretty terrible.
Zach Gallen is available. Your former team, the Angels, have shown some interest in him.
Yeah, Zach Gallen to me is a slightly worse version of Aaron Nola, where it's 1 year is oh yeah, this guy's pretty good, and then the next year is mid to high 4 ERA, and it's I can't trust you. Yeah,
and then the ageless Justin Verlander is still out there, and there's been talk about Atlanta wanting to bring him in. So Justin Verlander is also.
He should go back to Detroit for a year, finish out his career in Detroit. I mean, the Tigers probably. I'm sure the Tigers probably have a spot for him in the back of the rotation, or just there, kind of what the Dodgers did with Clayton Kershaw this last year. Just bring him there.
Speaking of the Tigers, do the Tigers trade Skubal this offseason?
Not this offseason, no.
Yeah, I would agree with you. Other names that have been traded that could be traded. Will Brendan Donovan be traded? I still think yes, and I still will say Seattle on that one.
Yeah, I mean. Who were talking about the Giants earlier as being an option?
Potentially. So that's the latest in Major League Baseball. Pitchers and catchers, 3 weeks away or so. Let's move to the National Basketball Association. We have not talked much NBA because of all the football going on, but now is the time to start getting back into NBA, NHL, college basketball. Yeah. We don't have any college basketball talk today, but. In the NBA, did you know? I know you knew. I know you knew this, but the Detroit Pistons have a 5.5 game lead in the Eastern Conference.
They've been up all year. The entire year they've been leading the Eastern Conference. It's one of those things. It's very similar to OKC a couple years ago, where it was they're bad. Then there was a year where it's oh, okay, they've improved. They kind of played back into the playoffs for a little bit, but don't really make noise beyond that. They're frisky out. They were frisky out against the Knicks in that first round. And then it's okay, now they've arrived. I don't think I would take the Pistons to win the championship this year because there's just too many really strong teams in the Western Conference. But like they deserve credit for what they've built there and a lot of young talent and they're deep. And I definitely deserving of that spot atop the Eastern Conference for sure.
Tonight in the NBA, the my Charlotte Hornets went on the road and blasted the Orlando Magic. Eight Hornets scored double digits in the game. 5 starters and 3 guys off the bench. 8 guys did. Go ahead.
They are the strangest team. It's because they can go to Orlando and win a game by 27 points.
Yeah.
One night after scoring 87 points at home against Cleveland.
Yeah.
Where that was 3 nights after they beat the Denver Nuggets by 23 in Denver. Of course, that was one night after they lost by 20 to Golden State. This is why they are not even in the play-in round because they're so inconsistent. But when they're on, it's beautiful.
Which was 2 nights after scoring 135 at the Lakers. Anyways,
right.
Yeah, and then Saturday they'll lose at home to the Wizards. But the Charlotte Hornets are 3.5 out of the wild card. I don't know as if they're going to make a play-in game. They'll have to catch the Heat and Bulls, who are already locked into those spots. They could catch Atlanta. They'd have to bypass Milwaukee. But what I was going to mention, I mentioned this to you the other day. What would it take, and would it help Charlotte this year if they went and got Karl Anthony Towns from the New York Knicks?
I mean, it would probably help. So Charlotte is. It's funny, like when you think of the Hornets, you're like, oh, they're such a bad defensive team. But there's a lot of teams in the Eastern Conference even that are allowing more points. Did you know that the Cleveland Cavaliers are allowing 1.5 more points per game than the Charlotte Hornets are this year?
Yeah, I don't understand why Cleveland's so bad defensively.
Right, like Cleveland's got its own issues, but all that to say, so it's like it's not like we're like, oh, they need defense. It's not Karl Anthony Towns. So yeah, Towns is probably a good, like that would maybe put them over the edge with Charlotte. Yeah, but it's do you trade? I mean, what happens though if the Knicks ask for Brandon Miller or Con Knuppel?
Oh hell no!
Right. So if you're Charlotte, then, and I can't believe we're talking on 3 days before the NFL Conference Championships about the Charlotte Hornets here, but if the Knicks were like, all right, yeah, you know what, we're interested in that. Who do you have to offer? So it can't just. I don't think it can be just draft picks, although maybe it can. But like if they're like, all right, we want a couple first, and we want a young player, like. Give us Con.
What about Sion James?
Sion James? Yeah, I mean, rookie, right?
Yeah. I mean, he started 18 games. He's only scoring. He's playing 25 minutes. I mean,
yeah.
You package him in a pick.
You send. Do you give him Kalkbrenner as well?
I mean,
if you got Towns.
I was gonna say Grant Williams. I mean, I don't know if they need veteran. Grant Williams, 27 years old, veteran help. He's more of he's not a big. He's a forward, but I mean, Kalkbrenner could be or Diabate, maybe either one.
Yeah. The reason that I'm hesitant about Diabate is because I had mentioned the other day that like when Diabate's out there with their other starters, it's one of the best lineups in the NBA.
Yeah.
And obviously, if Karl Anthony Towns comes in, it's not like Towns is coming off the bench.
Right.
So you would have to disrupt that anyway.
Yeah. Interesting to think about. And once football's over, we can really dive into the NBA and maybe talk about
the Hornets specifically.
Yeah. The trade deadline's coming up there. The Bulls went to Minnesota and won tonight, by the way. Congrats to the Bulls. 120-115 over Minnesota.
So right now we have in the Eastern Conference play-in round. So it would be Hawks at Bulls.
Yeah.
For the 10 versus 9, and then the Heat at Magic. It's so perfect. It's so perfect. All right. So I know like we're talking about the Pistons. So 32-10. It's insane. But is there a part of you that is very shocked that Boston and Toronto are two of the top 4 teams in the East, where like Orlando and Cleveland are fringe play-in teams.
Yeah, I don't understand why Orlando's as bad as they are. They should not be. They should not be 23-20.
They've had injuries though, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
So it's been 42 games. I mean, Franz has missed 16 games. Paolo has missed 10 games. Suggs has missed close to 20 games. So I think that they've had some injury issues that have a role in that for sure.
Yeah, just in the Eastern Conference, 23-20.
But yeah, but then we could say Boston has an Jason Tatum, and they're the 2 seed right now, and people thought Boston was going to miss the playoffs outright.
27-16, yeah, that's and he's on his way back.
Right. So
Tatum.
has that been confirmed? Are they just sort of like, is the plan for him to come back during the playoffs or late?
Yeah, I don't know what the exact plan is, but the word is he's on his way back. So he comes back and they become obviously very deadly. So real quick, I wanted to move to the National Hockey League because we haven't talked about that in a long time. My St. Louis Blues are in dead last in the Central now at 46 points in 50 games. Your Anaheim Ducks have 55 points in 50 games, currently in a playoff spot as
they're third in the Pacific. Third in the Pacific right now. So, yep.
Seventh overall. They would first round matchup against the Oilers if the playoffs started tomorrow.
I ain't afraid of those clowns. Those losers. The Ducks, if I may. They obviously started the season great. We're kind of like playing around 500 level. And then late December, they started what ended up becoming a 9-game losing streak. They went 0-8-1, and it dropped them like to probably the 4th or 5th worst team in the West. Since then, they've won 5 straight, which includes last night a win at the Colorado Avalanche.
Yeah, it's impressive. That's an impressive win.
It's been a strange season, but yeah, it's nice that they overcame a 9-game losing streak and they're right now in a playoff spot. So
Colorado Avalanche, who are 10 points better than anybody else in the National Hockey League and have played 3 less games than that team they are 10 points better than. So Colorado 34-5-9 now for the Avalanche.
Imagine they've had 1 regulation loss at home.
Yeah. Is it cheap or pathetic of me to say Tampa, Colorado, Stanley Cup Finals?
No, it's not pathetic. I would say Colorado has to be the overwhelming favorite in the Western Conference, and really for the whole thing. And I don't know what the betting odds are right now, but I could see on the. Now they're not futures here. But no, Colorado for sure has to be the big favorite out West. The Eastern Conference to me, though, is like everyone is so bunched together. And I would say, Tampa Bay's probably the most impressive. I mean, they've gotten a point in at least 10 straight. They're playing really good hockey. So, that's got to be probably the pick right now. But as we know in the Stanley Cup playoffs, stuff changes.
Yeah.
Upsets happen. And like if you had to pick, how about this? If you had to pick any other team from either conference, so you pick a team out West that's not Colorado, and you pick a team from the East that's not Tampa Bay, who would you take?
Not Colorado and not Tampa Bay. I am taking Dallas and Carolina.
I think I'm agreeing with you on Carolina, but I kind of think Minnesota with Quinn Hughes.
Okay. Just FYI, the Blackhawks are 4 points out of a playoff spot.
Oh, that's good for them. Bully for them.
Yeah.
I mean, the entire Western Conference is just so stupid.
Yeah.
Like the Sharks are tied with Seattle for the final wildcard spot.
Blues. Aaron is inviting me to a Tampa Bay game and pregame hat tricks there in downtown Tampa. I am in, Aaron. I am in. Let's head. Oh, Tyler's joined us as well. Tyler's a big Blackhawks guy, big local Blackhawks fan. Yeah, there you go, Tim. He has no other choice. Blackhawks 49 points, just 4 points back of Seattle and San Jose. So maybe.
Have I given you my rants on the loser point yet?
Yes, we did go over this.
Okay,
yes,
good. I just want to make sure we covered it and just how insane it is that like the Kings are tied for a playoff spot, even though they've lost 29 games out of their 49. They're
awesome.
If it's just wins and losses, they're 20 and 29. They have the same amount of points as a Sharks team that has one more win than loss this year.
That's awesome. Yeah, we did. You did rant on this one. Let's get to our best bets for betting. What we decided to do is we're doing 4 picks this week, and it's just 2 from each football game. The games are so big in the National Football League that we are taking 2 from each. I currently sit 2 games behind you. I'm not even going to post the records. I'm not posting.
Throw the records out.
You are 2 games ahead of me. And after this week, we're going to have to get creative on our best bets for betting.
Yeah, it's almost like the Super Bowl is coming up, and there's no shortage of options to bet on.
The problem is Thursday night show, you don't get a lot of lines in basketball or hockey for weekends until I mean you only get Friday.
Yeah, I mean best bets for betting might only be a football thing. I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Ask me after Sunday if this is over yet or not. All right, let's see here. My first one, I'm going to go with the Denver Broncos plus 4.5 at home against the New England Patriots. We talked about it in the first segment of the show. I like Denver. I like Jarrett Stidham to be good enough. Denver seems to have that moxie, and I shouldn't discredit New England because they are also 14-3. They've got Mike Vrabel, who looks like he's put together. You mentioned it. One of the best turnaround, maybe the best turnaround in the NFL on a season-to-season basis we've ever seen. We saw that in college football with Indiana. Maybe we see it in the NFL, but I'm going to take Denver in the 2:00 game at home against the Patriots.
What is it that you always say about so-and-so's your Huckleberry or I'm a Huckleberry? So am I the Huckleberry or are the Broncos the Huckleberry? What is
you are the Huckleberry for the Broncos.
All right, then that's what this is. I am truly scared at the level of confidence that I have in the Broncos covering the spread here. And there's a well-documented Tim curse. A well-documented Tim curse where the more I believe in something, the more egg I end up with on my face. But I just can't. I physically cannot bring myself to go with anything different besides the Broncos covering this game. And honestly, here you go. I'll give you another little extra nugget. They're going to win. They're going to beat the Patriots. And it's going to be Jarrett Stidham in the Super Bowl because this season deserves a Jarrett Stidham in the Super Bowl. That's just how it goes. Like, if we're not going to have Patrick Mahomes, let's have Jarrett Stidham because that's how the NFL goes. That's how the scriptwriters draw it up.
Pick number 2 for me is going to be Sean McVay and the Los Angeles Rams winning the rubber match against Seattle, the third matchup of the season between the Rams and Seattle. And the Rams will have won their 3rd straight road game to get to the Super Bowl after beating the Panthers 34-31, beating the Bears 2017. This will be a close game, maybe win by 3, just like the other games. I will take the Rams. Matthew Stafford, Puka Nacua, Kyron Williams, Devontae Adams, Jared Verse. Go Rams. I'll take the Rams.
I don't know if you know this, but you know that Oz the Mentalist guy?
I've heard.
Apparently Oz the Mentalist before the season went to the Rams camp, and he, and I'm not making this up, had a Rams-Broncos Super Bowl.
Okay. So if the Rams and the Broncos win Sunday night, I will do my best to try to get him on our show.
Yeah, and have him predict some sort of thing in our lives. Like I don't know, man. But like, it was like the score. It was like 20. Was it 23-16 or something like that, or 23-12. I don't know what it was, but like it had the score. It was a touchdown pass to Devontae Adams. It was all of these things, and it was Rams Broncos. And we're sitting here with that very much being a possibility. And so who are you picking to win in the AFC Championship? Who are you taking to win?
Broncos.
So you're taking the Broncos, and you're taking the Rams.
Correct.
Okay. So that scares me a little bit, that I am going against Oz the Mentalist here. Because then I remember that Oz the Mentalist a couple of years ago went to the Jets and did the same thing and said the Jets were going to win the Super Bowl. So I have to remember that.
Jets.
Yes. So I think there's a couple big reasons why I'm taking Seattle. Number one, from what I mentioned earlier, these teams have played each other twice. Sam Darnold has thrown 6 interceptions. And it has amounted to a total of, between like the point differential between both teams is the Rams +1. And that's what Darnold throwing 6 interceptions. It will take so much for the Rams. It has already taken so much for the Rams to beat Seattle. And when they did it, it was barely. And they, weren't able to close the deal a few weeks ago at Seattle and blew that big lead. So I'm looking at it through that lens. And also historically, when the number one scoring offense plays the number one scoring defense, the number one scoring defense overwhelmingly wins. I saw a stat where, or it's not Dr. Oz. Did I say Dr. Oz? Oz the Mentalist. I don't know. Who cares?
I think Aaron understands that. I think he's just saying that's what Dr. Oz has become.
Yeah. No. I honestly, that'd be if Dr. Oz had a Rams Broncos Super Bowl, I would be more apt to take his advice. But I digress. Rams Seahawks, Rodney. It's the 9th game since 1970 in the conference championship or later that has the number one scoring offense versus the number one scoring defense. The top defense is 7-1 straight up in those in the first 8 matchups. So those couple reasons are the reasons that I'm taking the Seattle Seahawks -2.5. It's not going to be a blowout, but I think the Seahawks are gonna pull this one out and head to the Super Bowl.
Okay, so we agreed that we would both pick another pick, and I just went ahead and went total, and I think you did as well. Total for each game, and gives us 4 on the weekend. So I am going to go Patriots Broncos, and I am going to take the under 42.5. Like if we decide to be a shootout, I'm afraid Jarrett Stidham won't get it done. But if he can manage the game, not turn it over, control the clock, I think he can get it done in something like a 21-17, 21-20 type win for Denver. I mean, that's what it's going to need to be. I could see 24-14, but boy, 10 points is a big margin to win by. So I do think it's going to stay under that. I mean, my narrative is the Broncos win in an under game. I think if this goes over, the Broncos are in trouble. So I have a feeling I'm going either 2-0 or 0-2 with the Broncos Patriots.
Yeah. I kind of have to say, if the Broncos are going to win this game, it's not going to be because Jarrett Stidham throws 5 touchdown passes and it's a shootout. Like it's going to be a game that Denver wins with the rest of its team, which is built on a very good defense. Patriots offense hasn't been super impressive this postseason. Their defense has played really well too. So yeah, I'm with you on the under. It's a low total, but I'm going to risk it here. And yeah, I mean, you hope like 23-20 is the over. So you hope like 21-17, 23-13, like something like that. Yeah.
Aaron likes my process. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no, it's a good process. It is. Yeah. It is a good process. But yeah, I'm with you on the under. So we ride on that game, man. We're aligned in the AFC, but then NFC is where we're going to differ a little bit.
Yeah, I've already taken the Rams. I'm going to take the over. I think Matthew Stafford and company get to 28 against a good Seattle team, a good defensive team for Seattle. That team can play defense, but if anybody's going to figure it out, it's going to be Stafford. It's going to be McVay. I mean, it was 38-37 back on December 18th. First game was 21-19, so that one stayed under a little bit. I'll go something like 28-24, maybe even 28. I mean, I could see 28-27. I'm taking the Rams as the dog here. It could be 28-27. I'm taking Rams, Seahawks over 46.5. Give me the points.
And give me the best defense in the league, keeping it lower scoring. Rams offense seems to be somewhat limited with no with I shouldn't say no Matthew Stafford, but Matthew Stafford's not playing at 100%. The Seahawks run game will be a little bit limited with Zach Charbonnet being out too, so you got to factor that in. Yeah, I mean, what? So everyone's looking at the first time these teams played, or the second time, excuse me, where it was 38-37. I'm looking at the first time these teams played, where they were, a little bit early. They were pretty evenly matched, and it was 21-19. I don't think it's going to be 21-19 again, but I think we're going to get closer to that than 38-37 for sure. So I'm going to go under 46.5.
Okay, and those are our best bets for betting. You have a 2-game lead heading into just 3 games left in the National Football League. So Super Bowl week, I think we can at least come up with 2, but maybe even like there's all sorts of picks we could possibly come up with. But you are 2 games ahead heading into the championship weekend. All right, let's get to our Mount Rushmores of 24, the best in each sport to wear the number 24. Obviously, your nickname helps one out here. Your nickname tonight, that's probably going to give one away. Don't you think?
Yeah. Kobe Brown, who is currently on the Los Angeles Clippers, wears number 24.
Yeah.
You got to be some dude to be named Kobe, to play for an LA team, and give yourself the number 24.
Yeah, you like yourself way too much. Did you know that today was the anniversary of the 81-point game for Kobe?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, and that's part of the reason why I decided to choose that nickname. I think I've used Black Bomb in the past, so I had to try to think of something different. And
it happens to be 24.
I watched the Stuart Scott highlights on SportsCenter of the 81-point game. I saw it on my feed today, and he scored a lot of points, man. It was all like jump shots. It was crazy. He just couldn't miss. And I watched that game live. It was fantastic. And I mean, Kobe Bryant is easy 24.
Yeah, Dan Patrick spent about 30 minutes on it today. He had Jalen Rose, Chris Bosh. He had a clip where he had interviewed Kobe, obviously years ago.
I love that they have you noticed that anyone that talks about that game, any of the players, it's always from the Raptors perspective, and none of his Laker teammates, who most of them at that time were like, oh, screw this guy, because it was Smush Parker and Kwame Brown and all those losers. Like, so they only get the Toronto guys who like actually like Kobe.
Yeah, no, for sure. Tim or Aaron is a big DP guy.
Big DP guy, yeah, definitely.
DP guy. He also says we gave good content, and he's glad you went opposite, so I have a chance to even things up. All right. Yeah. Baseball. Baseball is where we could fill this Mount Rushmore up immediately with Major League Baseball, because Willie Mays wore number 24.
Yeah.
Ricky Henderson wore number 24. Ken Griffey Jr. wore number 24. And Miguel Cabrera wore number 24. Along with Manny Ramirez. Also,
you can keep going.
Wore 24. Deion Sanders playing baseball wore 24.
I don't see him. No, I was talking about Robinson Cano in his 11 years as a Yankee wore number 24. And oh, by the way, and I'm not saying we should do it because it was only his first 7 seasons, but maybe the greatest baseball player of all time, Barry Bonds, wore 24.
Yeah,
with the Pittsburgh Pirates.
We can't put Bonds on there as a partial.
No, he would not for 24, because I associate him with 25. But I'm just saying, like, this is who we are selecting from. So, okay, Willie Mays, yes.
Yeah, Willie Mays and Kobe Bryant were off to a good start.
Yeah, I feel good about it. So then it becomes Ricky Henderson. It becomes Ken Griffey Jr., Manny Ramirez, Miguel Cabrera. Shoot, man. I'm so fearful of leaving people off.
Yeah. Yeah, because here's the deal. Charles Woodson in the NFL probably deserves this as well.
Champ Bailey,
Marshawn Lynch,
Darrelle Revis,
Ty Law.
Like,
I can go on and on. So honestly, this might be unfair for these guys that we're going to leave off, but this probably is one that we just go with one from each sport. And that way it's like, well, that's why you got left off, because Chris Chelios.
Yeah. I just saw that. Yeah.
Bernie Federko. So we're leaving some great names
having
off.
Kobe Bryant, Willie Mays, and Bernie Federko on the same mountain doesn't sit right with me.
No,
man.
it doesn't.
With all due respect, to the Blues legend.
You're right. But Chris Chelios. So but we're leaving Ken Griffey Jr., Manny Ramirez. We're leaving some incredible names off this. But by going one from each sport.
So we can at least make the argument. So Griffey didn't wear it his whole career. He didn't wear it in Cincinnati because I think he changed to 30. And then who's the other one that you said?
I mean, Manny.
For baseball? Well, Manny, I mean, the Hall of Fame voters left him off for 10 years in the ballot. So,
I mean, the Ricky Henderson.
Yeah. It's oh God.
Yeah. But honestly, like, I'm good with Kobe. I'm good with Willie Mays. Mm-hmm. I'm good with Chris Chelios. And what did we do in the NFL?
I think so. Like Champ Bailey or Charles Woodson.
I think it's got to be Charles Woodson.
Yeah.
Plus,
Charles Woodson was Charles Woodson 80. Like you saying, you know him personally?
I've met him.
So what if I were to tell you that Charles Woodson was only number 24 with the Raiders?
Oh.
So he was 11 years with the Raiders. He wore 24. His 7 seasons with the Packers, he wore number 21.
All right, Champ Bailey.
And it was his years with the Packers that he was the Defensive Player of the Year, first team All-Pro.
Champ Bailey, step right up.
Champ Bailey, and I want to confirm here, because again, this is very important, like to be able to wear it the whole career. Champ Bailey, for his entire 15-year career, split between Denver and Washington, wore the number 24. He's a 12-time Pro Bowler. He's a 3-time All-Pro. He's a Hall of Famer. I think it's got to be Champ Bailey, man.
Champ Bailey, Kobe Bryant, Willie Mays, Chris Chelios.
Yeah, I was trying to do a quick look at the NHL just to make sure that I didn't miss anyone that was super obvious. Because I know how some of the hockey people get that are watching. We had the one Blackhawks fan from earlier that I'm sure is still watching, making sure that we're being faithful to all the NHL players. But yeah, I think Chelios is probably the other one. Doug Wilson was pretty good, but like, yeah, I think Chelios is the guy. So that's a pretty.
Jeff Gordon drove the 24 car.
Oh man, I'm tempted to almost put him there ahead of Chelios.
Jeff Gordon and Chris Chelios out.
Yeah, I'm good with that, man. I loved Jeff Gordon as a kid. I'm not a huge NASCAR guy, but like Jeff Gordon was my driver for sure. Plus, I had the DuPont rainbow jacket and everything.
Plus anything you could, yeah. And Tyler mentioned Chelios was 7 in Chicago. Okay, yeah, so that makes sense.
See ya, Chris.
Add another baseball guy. No, it's Jeff Gordon. Jeff Gordon.
Yeah. If we were though to add another baseball guy, like who is the first man out or first one out?
Well, I mean, it changes my thought process knowing Griffey actually had a second number, because like Griffey would be automatic for me. But changing.
But I mean, it was still 13 years that he had it. It was the bulk of his career and the prime in Seattle that everyone remembers.
We've been pretty harsh on the guys that changed their numbers, though. We've been pretty consistently
there are exceptions though, like Kobe Bryant, where it's and like Kobe and LeBron are guys that had two different numbers, but they were so legendary in both of them that they just get spots on both of those Rushmores.
I'm taking Ken Griffey Jr. over Ricky Henderson if I'm picking heads up between the two.
Yeah. No, I would agree, and that's leaving off Miguel Cabrera, who wore his entire career. Like,
yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Tough.
All right, that is our Mount Rushmore for 24. We will have 25 coming up on Tuesday night. So, all right,
we missed Grady. We missed. Did you mention Grady Sizemore? We probably should have had him as an honorable mention too.
Yeah, good call there.
He's on the hall. Like, if we're talking about best looking baseball players, Grady Sizemore definitely gets consideration. It's a handsome guy. Could stay healthy, but he's a handsome guy.
Make sure you go to Twitter, not X. Follow us at Stupid Sports Show, no W on the end. That'll get you notifications of all of the shows. We do appreciate the comments tonight. The shows run so much better when you guys perform well for us and you give us content to talk about. So thanks for joining us tonight. A couple people in there tonight. Thank you.
Yeah, what Rodney is trying to say, I'll speak on behalf for you here. What Rodney is trying to say is that we appreciate all of you getting over your performance anxiety and to be able to really stiff up and help us out here. So thank you.
And Tuesday's show, I am hoping we have Oz the Mentalist on.
Are you gonna try to get Oz the Mentalist? We in between now and the especially if it's Rams Broncos, you got to get his ass on and be like, explain yourself, sorcerer.
Yeah, no, I told you Sunday night. If we find out that the Broncos win and the Rams win, I will spend as much time as I need between Sunday night and Tuesday. And if he wants to say I can't do it Tuesday, but I can do it Thursday, or I can do it next week, I'll accept it. But I will shoot to try to get him on for Tuesday's show. And I will spare no expense to see if we can get Oz the Mentalist on the Stupid Sports Show. And there was somebody else. Who else did you say? Zodiac?
The guy on Twitter, and I'm sure a couple people have seen him before here, but this guy is the Zodiac GM, and basically what he does is he looks at the astrological signs for athletes, and he's basically able to figure out, like, okay, the head coach is a Pisces and the quarterback is an Aquarius, and so they have this perfect chemistry. But then when something's off, and like after Harbaugh got fired, it's like, oh, it makes sense because Harbaugh and the GM are this, but Lamar Jackson is this, so it's only a C+ chemistry rating. And it's like, oh, okay, sure. So yeah, I'd like at some point us to inquire about getting the Zodiac GM on so he could like get our signs and see like if we have good show chemistry but also what we could do is we could like give him a scenario here and we'd be like around the trade deadline. Let's say NBA trade deadline comes around. We're like, hey man, like this trade happened. Like give us the review. Like what's the fit? Like, are you buying into them? Are you selling? Like what to do? This is valuable information.
I love it. Oz the Mentalist and the Zodiac GM will be on our list of guests coming up. We are going to have guests at some point. All right, let's get out of here for tonight. It is a quarter after 10. Make sure you go to Spotify, Apple, or iHeart to find out all the shows. Tim tells it better. Go ahead.
Yeah, to find out the shows. I mean, like it's a podcast. Like wherever you listen to podcasts, just go there. All the episodes will be there. It's not that hard, not that deep.
And then my Substack is available. Go to Substack and get signed up. Would you quit pressing the button?
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. Go.
Signed up as Substack. Get winners in your mailbox every single day. It is up there in the corner, and you'll get picks every day, probably sometime before lunch. All right, let's get out of here, Tim. Thank you for joining me, and stay warm tomorrow.
Stay warm. It's going to be frosty out there, as they say.
Yes, it is.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to staying indoors. All right, enjoy your football on Sunday. We'll be back Tuesday nights if we don't freeze. 9 p.m. We'll recap conference championships, preview the Super Bowl, maybe some more coaching hires by then to talk about. We'll see. But until then, thanks to everyone, by the way, who joined in. I know you mentioned it earlier, but appreciate all the interaction. It always makes the show a lot more fun. But he's Rodney Newpel. I'm Tim KB24 Van Stratton, and this has been another edition of the Stupidest Sports Show on earth. See you guys
later.
Step right up, dummies, and listen to the stupidest sports show on earth with Rodney Newpol and Tim Van Stratton. Yeah.